Greetings and welcome to my Libra friends. This is Ron from Terra of the Twin Sun. Terra of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel and its contents. Thank you for your continued support of whatnot. In terms of the work that we're doing today, we are observing, especially from a solar perspective, that is within the Twin Sun. The Sun in Libra, especially for those who identify with the Western solar nexus. Okay, essentially, this has to do with the solar shifting to the second house. Okay, so there is a sense here of what we can attain, especially through balance, through diplomacy, as well as through negotiation with others in terms of our immediate finances, with others in terms of also um, what we can gain, what we can attain, what we can hold in terms of realities, okay, especially after the Fool's journey, okay, into the energy of Taurus. So there is a Venusian undertone here that speaks of aesthetics, it speaks of creativity as well as flow, the ability to see what can be beautiful in terms of especially the ugly with the solar energy in Scorpio, okay? The deeper understanding of perhaps a feeling of what you have in terms of relationships with the others, what you can share with others, and not really jiving well with that. Some conflict here, especially as it comes into the energy of transformation and through the energy of Pluto and Mars. Okay. Um, so secrets can be revealed at this time in terms of what is being handed under the table, what is not being documented, what is being taxed in some sort of way. Okay, so there's an interesting uh, signature, a key signature here of dealings. Okay, dealings with others, especially, and how those dealings may have certain traits about them that are not of the highest order, but perhaps are very secret in nature or have an occult undertone that is directly linked to hidden hands, okay, hands that are hidden. Um, so let's go ahead and move on. Apologies, by the way, if you've been waiting for a reading. I've been somewhat delayed bringing in an ashram that is a temple into this earth, and it's been a very terribly challenging experience. Also very humbling in terms of my physical limitations and dealing with that, and certainly going through with that in terms of expanding through Jupiter's energy, okay, as well as Saturn's energy. I'm in the Saturn line right now. Mm. If you would like a reading, I am available. That's not necessary though. I always, um, I'm always open for that, but it's not necessary. So, uh, this is going to be a general reading, no great merit for this month. We will look at future, past, and present states of the energy of Libra, okay? And we'll move on from there. First off, I will start with a nice little karmic reading, a reading of karmic energies for the Dharma as well as the path of Libra and the path of righteousness in terms of injustice and finding truth in that. So far, there's something about Libra that has a great deal of expectations when it comes to something that has been buried, something that has been left off. This is not causing stagnation. There's something about it that revolves around trying to partition, okay? Partitioning from the past. There's something that has been buried, and it's like if you've allocated disk space to that, there's something about that that is being forgotten, or perhaps it's partitioned, but it's not being utilized in the fullest capacity. Okay, that partition of your life, it sits dormant, it sits away, and you are a student of this. You're trying to understand, especially through your own understanding, how that is different from a way of doing things in the past. Okay, there's a lot of expectation here, and it is surfacing with Scorpio season. Okay, there's something about the sun setting, and on this sunset, there's light being shown onto the land, but the light is bent. Okay, um, and because of the sunset, there is difficulty in bringing forward what is going, what is essentially giving you a sense of purpose, and when it comes to life force, okay, prana, um, 7 to the 8, okay. So this has to do with a deep understanding of where your realities lie, of where you can essentially find footing, find grounding, okay, on this barrenness, okay, the barrenness of the land. And with this, there's a sense of methodology. So what the cards are telling me essentially is to find the right footing. Make sure that there is balance in your furniture, okay? Your desk space, your workspace, your chairs, your couches, your beds. Those are all very important in terms of the place of rest that can be had there. But then there is a standing position here, as I've mentioned, a standing position. So also your shoes, make sure they're of the highest quality at this moment of time for some reason. Um, could be just superstition, but in terms of advice for karma, there is one card that is important. And what is that card? It is the Five of Swords in the reverse. Okay, with this, there's a way of doing things, a way of moving from ancient ground, from old unallocated disk space. Okay, uh, and there also is a type of return, something that you have to understand, where you had to leave that particular inheritance, that particular timeline, that particular reality, in order to do something in a futuristic way. And now that you are on future land, now that you are on newfound land, how do you find balance? Okay. Uh, Hopefully that wasn't too mundane. Let's move on. Okay, once again, the 5 is showing up. There's a mode of process, okay, a way of understanding through this process some degree of method or practice, okay. There's a self-reflective quality in this. Okay, that helps you to understand structures that you've created in order to find a foothold or an emotional body, some sort of structure of the mind or of the heart that is helping you to understand more about what about this relation to the seven. So the four and the seven is very strong here. Um, what I'm seeing in terms of this is what the difference of the two of rods in the upright. Some sort of choice. There is a crisis point here, and that does not surprise me with Scorpio season. The thing is that with this crisis, there always is some form of transformation. Something always needs to change. That's why crises come about. Okay, and in this, a number of things show up, including the 2 and the 10, which is negotiating realities, okay, in terms of your work, in terms of your career, in terms of monies, okay, these are all very important. But these are also, once again, the hidden hand emerges and shows what? Oh, some sort of tie to the Two of Cups, okay? And forgive me, I don't usually skirk at the Two of Cups. Most tarot readers are extremely jubilant and um, to the point of not really knowing what to say about the Two of Cups. I am sort of that ilk. I sort of feel that way about the Two of Cups. Um, because uh, um, there's a lot of shared energy with the Two of Cups that I find um, does not really reflect, uh, excuse me, selfless, selfless love or selfless creativity. Um, so it requires a mutual sort of objective approach or a mutual sort of disintegration of conditional interactions, okay, with the Two of Cups energy. You know, Two of Cups is usually um, indicative of what, okay, it's more of sharing two different structures, sharing two different containers, sharing two different minds, and bringing them together in harmony, okay? And from a realist perspective, it's very hard to do that, especially through Saturn's energy. It's very hard to be rewarded with that. It takes takes a lifetime or lifetimes. You have to get really lucky to truly have the Two of Cups. What I see here is tension that comes from it. Purpalaya, the seven. Okay, this is through the energy and the auspices of the sun's energy and Leo's energy. So it's the 5 and the 8. Mm. Ultimately, here, what I'm seeing is a release of tension and a gaining of tension through this transaction. Okay, and this has to do with transactions of the fourth house. What can be structured? Different structures being shared together. Different designs for the Holy Grail. Different designs for the cups energy. Okay, and it's very difficult to design something in terms of a well placed cup or well fulfilled cup. Um, yeah, but before I get into too much space, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so with this season, with the time that is allocated to this reading, however long that may be, there is a misjustice, a mis allocation of justice. Okay, something is amiss, and this puts Libra off of kilter. There is some form of rage or energy in terms of, excuse me, hidden inspirations. Um, let's see, seven. It shifts. Points of crisis create a lot of this energy, this rage or this anger. It's not really anger. It's more of a comic approach. There's something comical about the energy of Libra right now. You can perhaps step back and laugh at yourself or laugh at others. And I'm talking about a real laugh, a real authentic laugh to the point of dark humor. Okay. And this dark humor, it revolves around what? The Four of Swords and the Two of Swords in the reverse. Some sort of imbalance, either to you or to others, has been had here. An injustice has been served, and perhaps now you are learning or becoming privy to either devotional aspects or some form of understanding through truth or mistruth that has been delivered. Okay, and now it's all coming to you, and in terms of this uh, false economy. Okay, this artificial economy, this artificial transference of thoughts, or if you are receiving thoughts in terms of others' thoughts, you are understanding how those thoughts are not your own. There's something very interesting about the dynamism here. It has to do with what we can aesthetically think of, what we can bring in terms of truth or so-called truth, and really question these things. Okay, this is not the best current states, I would say, of affairs. There's something that is missing. And the thing that is missing is an emotional understanding of it all, an intuitive understanding of it all. It's there. It's just you have to be aware that even though you do not know, there is some sort of knowing about this intuition. Okay, and the intuition is strong here. It's enough to create a philosopher of some degree. Okay, so embrace that. But once again, there's some sort of false economy about your finances or about transactions with others that have to do with injustices or an imbalance in terms of fairness. Okay, where if you're receiving money, is that money clean? If you're receiving resources, is it of the highest order, or is there like a fabric or a piece of manipulation there, or a hand of manipulation? Um, the best thing to do is to embrace Jupiter's hidden energies here. That is actually gifting you something from the eighth house, okay, from the eighth to the ninth, something that you can, um, that will create once again a type of philosopher of the mind of truth that is unsaid but is known. Yet it is unknown because it is not said. You know, that sort of thing. Um, La La Land. Let's go to the past. There has been an incident here, some form of breaking free from a past way of thinking psychologically. So it's liberation, but also it is the path not taken that is influencing your sense of happiness, and a devotion to self, a devotion to also what you can attain through choices. Okay. This is actually bringing about a way of seeing how you can liberate your more intuitive self, okay? And this has been very good for you, and this is good. I see this is very good. In the future, there is a way of bringing forward thoughts with the past in the future, in the past, to the past, projecting those in a certain way while on your path of developing the mind, okay? And with this, what is activated, there is a sense here of your own energy, but also the third house energy. So words are better elocuted through hand gestures or through what you can manipulate with the third house energy. Okay, there's something here about crafting in the future, and this has to do with projects that are hidden with the hidden sun, projects that are tied to your assets, your money, but also are very, it's a choice that you make in terms of different dreams or different intensities that you may be experiencing now, but are going to be more obvious in the future. Okay, this full moon's energy is going to be very good for you, I would say. Um, there also is something about you becoming more acclimated to uh, 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 fertility that is based on the mind, fertility that is based on choice, in terms of intensified choices or projects that require your attention. There's one of them in particular that you can become something of a master on, or something where you can invest a great deal of sporadic thoughts into that process and create what the hidden sun, okay, create some sort of resource that will be a seed for the future, okay. In terms of advice for all of this, let's see. Don't hold on too much onto the thing that you'll be working on in the future. There's something about it where some form of hidden information could come to you and bring you a sense of newness or a sense of inspiration, or you might bring inspiration to others around this field of influence, okay? This has to do with liberation from structures or ways of doing things in the past, and a way to essentially find find the gift in it all, okay? This has to do with liberation, okay? The gift of liberation in your own choices, in your own ruminations, okay? This has to do with secret hidden information that comes through the hidden sun, as well as the devil card in reverse. Um, yes. This also has to do with something of a fathering, bringing forward a design, being able to uh, purify in some sort of way this Two of Cups energy that has been a motif for this reading in particular. Okay, so purifying this would require a catch-22. It has to involve both parties. Okay, in terms of bringing forward. Um, what I'm seeing here is a lot of independence, and that's not a bad thing. Okay. Uh, I think I should leave it there. Thank you very much, and I really do appreciate my Libra team. We've been very good together, and thank you. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye.